Fairly recently, Al Hinkle died. And you may know him, fans of On the Road know him as Big Al Dunkel in On the Road. And Al was Neal's oldest friend. They met at the YMCA downtown, the old Y, when they were studying tumbling. There was a guy who taught circus stuff to kids in those days, and they met there. Friends their whole life long. And anyway, Al died 6 or 8 weeks ago. I can't remember exactly. But Al was the last living person from On the Road. Everybody else is gone. And Al has a great website that's still up called The Last Man Standing. You might want to check it out. And I have a gentleman who's going to talk a little bit about Al. Zack Kopp is a kind of a Denver treasure at this point. He's a poet and a writer and a man about town, and the author of a really good book called The Denver Beat Scene, which is on sale over there, which kind of encapsulates a lot of the Denver beat stuff throughout time, not just the 40s and 50s, but later day stuff too. So I'd like to bring Zack up and remember Al Hinkle.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. Al Hinkle, the last surviving passenger of Jack Kerouac and Neal Cassady's famous road trips back and forth across the USA, fictionalized in Jack's book On the Road, passed away the day after Christmas last year at 92 years of age. Al always said he had the most fun of anyone involved in that happening, and he was the only one of all the male leads to finish college. When I was writing the Denver Beat Scene, Al's blog, Beyond the Road, was instrumental in putting together a picture of Neal's Denver days. I was unable to make contact with Al when writing that book. I would have loved to interview him. That big, sad, mournful ghost, as Kerouac called him, or terms like that. That big, sad, silent, long-faced, old, tall, sweet, smiling, lanky ghost. 6 feet 6 inches tall, dwarfing both Neal and Jack. Besides being the real-life inspiration for the character Big Ed Dunkel in On the Road, Al provided characters in 2 other Kerouac books, Slim Buckle in Visions of Cody, and Ed Buckle in Book of Dreams. Al Hinkle met the young Neal Cassady at the YMCA in Denver, where they performed together in a trapeze act, with Al catching Neal after he made a leap. This is apt symbolism, since it was Al Hinkle who put up $100 for the famous 49 Hudson, in which they made their zigzag trip of many destinations. It was Al who moved to California first, got Neal a job on the Southern Pacific Railroad despite his total lack of experience. Al who gave him a ride to court after his pot bust, and who gave him a ride home after he got paroled from San Quentin. Uncle Al Hinkle and his wife Helen were like a second set of parents to Neal and Carolyn's son and daughters, John, Alan, Jamie, and Kathy Cassady. Big Ed Dunkel and his fiancée, then wife, Galatea's presence in that timeless car and On the Road gave readers of this eternal character access to the futurism embodied by Dean Moriarty and Sal Paradise in that book. Al and Galatea's model, Helen R.G. Hinkle, might be R.G., remained married until her death in 1994, and the Hinkles had 2 children, Mark, born in 1951, and Dawn, born in 1953. When Jerry Cimino opened the Beat Museum in nearby San Francisco in 2006, Al became a fixture at its various events, enthralling younger listeners with his horse's mouth accounts of the early days. In 2012, he published a small book of recollections based on an interview with Stephen D. Eatington entitled Last Man Standing. In that book, he said, "I love having lived my life with liberty and freedom. I guess Jack was right. Here I am today, 85 years old, the last man standing, as they call me, only with my own Facebook page instead of a bench outside the Silver Dollar, telling my tales to a whole new generation of youngsters from all around the world who understand and respect what the Beats stood for. I am honored to be a part of it all."